Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Let's get these people in here. Let's get these people on here. Let's get these people on here. Why it sound like you eating plastic? What's good, everybody? I see y'all coming in. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? We just sending out the stream real quick. We sending out the stream real quick. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Let me make sure I can see the chat and stuff like that. Make sure I can see the chat. Where is the chat box? What's good, TikTok? YouTube? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Today's gonna be a good one. Trust me when I say today is gonna be a good one. Hold on, we just putting this out there. Give me a second, y'all. We're putting this out there. So before we have our guests come on, I wanted to talk a little bit. Yeah, there we go. We got the chat. So before we have our guests come on, I wanted to talk to y'all a little bit. I actually wanted to talk to y'all, right? And the name of this live is They Weren't on Your Level. I hope y'all listening to me when I say they weren't on your level. That's what this live is about. They weren't on your level. Period. Period. They were not on your level. Okay. One last thing I gotta do and then we live. So I'm gonna give a little message first, and then the guest's gonna come on and we're gonna do what we gotta do. Period. So how are y'all doing today though? How are y'all doing today? How are y'all doing today? That's my question. How are y'all doing today? Thank you, Stacey. Hey, listen, man, I'm only here to just spread the truth. And I feel like a lot of people really don't understand that if people are falling out of your life, baby, they wasn't meant to be in it. You hear what I'm saying? If people are falling out of your life, my love, they were not meant to be in it, at least not for long. At least not for long. At least not for long, sweetheart. Hold on, y'all. We almost done. Then y'all gonna have my full attention. We almost done it. You gonna have my full attention. Making sure everything's set up for this live. All right. All right, here we go. Okay. I think we good now. Oh, we good now. What's good, everybody? Now I gotta just put this one on Instagram and then we lit. They weren't on your level. That's what this is about. They weren't on your level. They weren't on your level. I'm feeling that though. Like, I'm actually feeling that. Like, I actually resonate with that. Like, they weren't on your level. So y'all go ahead. Y'all share this live with 3 people. Y'all go ahead and share this live with 3 people, because trust me when I say I'm about to tell y'all what y'all need to hear. You ain't seeing me in a couple days, I know, but you got to understand, in order for me to teach, I got to go through life. I got to experience myself, right? Let me tell y'all something. They weren't on your level. But you knew that, though. You knew that, though. They were not on your level, and you knew that. So why are you upset when people leave your life because they can't take the pressure of the level that you're at? You got to understand that when you're going and swimming in the water, you can't go from the bottom of the ocean to the top of the ocean in one little stroke. You actually have to take your time to move up the pressures of the water. You can't just start swimming. You got to go to the next pressure, sit there for a little bit. Go to the next pressure, sit there for a little bit. Go to the next pressure, sit there for a little bit. So you got people who was never on your level, and you trying to force them to get there. Let me tell you something, baby. Everybody got their own time that they get on things. Everybody got their own time that they align with the frequency. So you have to realize that you cannot force anybody. The only way you can inspire someone, which is to put someone in the spirit, the only way that you can inspire someone is to first be an example. You see, you got to stop thinking that you can change certain people. You can change certain people. We don't change people. They change themselves, but they change themselves based off of what they seen from us. So if you want to really change people, you need to be focused on how you can be the best version and the highest timeline version of yourself if you want other people to start aligning with you. And that's the thing. You got to stop trying to force people to align with you because it's stopping you from seeing the people that are actually in alignment with you. You're too busy chasing people, chasing them down, wanting them to align with you, wanting them to act right, wanting them to be something that they are not right now. And once you realize and accept, you know what? They just cannot do it. They just cannot be that person for me right now. That'll be the moment that you find someone who will be. The moment that you let go of the people who you really want to align with you, but they're not, would be the time that you find the people who actually do. Let me tell you something. I've noticed how the people who are not good for you, you'll change yourself up a bit to fit in with them, right? And then when they turn on you, when they not like you, when they realize that you're not like them, they can act different. This is why it's important that you have to be yourself authentically no matter what. Even if that means that sometimes who you was authentically yesterday is not who you are today. Hey, that means that the people that you hung out with yesterday is probably not going to make it to today. And that's okay. You have to understand, my love, you are a spiritual human being right now. You're experiencing life on this earth, and a lot of people are receiving downloads, receiving information faster than other people, and that's what's causing their soul to develop and grow how it is. Real talk. Real talk. Hold on, I'm trying to get the chat so I can see the chat. You know? So that's one thing that I realized. When I stopped trying to force people to fit in with me or to align with me, I started to find the people who naturally did. When I stopped trying to force people to align with me, when I stopped trying to force people to be on my page and be on my same vibes, hold on. That's when I actually found the people who was. Like, a lot of y'all talking to somebody and you like, man, they don't open my door. They don't do this. They don't do that for me. But, you know, maybe in the future, maybe. See, that's the problem. You already say that they're disappointing you. They're not showing up for you the way that you want them to. But here you are still giving them the space to disappoint you again. Damn. Damn. When people show you that they can't, believe them. Because you out here giving them more space to disappoint you later on because you think they're going to change. You think they're going to get better. You feel me? So what we need to realize is, you know what? Let me love the people that is loving me. Let me show up for the people that is showing up for me. Let me hang out with the people that want to hang out with me. Y'all always want to hang out with people, talk to people who's not showing you that they want to talk to you. And the reason why is because a lot of y'all subconsciously are addicted to chasing validation. Did y'all hear what I just said? A lot of y'all are subconsciously addicted to chasing validation. So that's why you always talk to people who, quite frankly, don't want to talk to you. Because the people that don't like you, you want them to like you. So every time that they don't talk to you, you're on a mission to get them to. I'm just being real. When people show you who they are, believe them the first time. When people show you who they are, believe them the first time. Also, another thing, y'all, my magnetism class is closing within a couple of days. So the last few days for you to enroll is now. All right? Is now. So if you want to enroll into my magnetism class, go ahead and DM me your birthday and click, or just say DM me your birthday, all right? Just DM me your birthday. But listen, so let's finish, because I wanted to keep on with this, right? They weren't on your level. They were not on your level. Does this resonate with y'all? Does this resonate with y'all? The fact that they were not on your, does this resonate with y'all? Because I know for a fact for me, like, you have to understand this. You should prefer to be alone than to be with people that make you want to be alone. Does that make sense? You should prefer to be alone than to be with people and wish you were alone. You don't want to be hanging out with someone and you like, man, they just make me feel this. They just make me, I don't like it. But the only reason why you're still talking to them is because you don't want to be by yourself. That's what it is with a lot of y'all. A lot of y'all really don't want to go and be by yourself. And that's why you keep entertaining people that you really shouldn't even be around, because you're afraid to be by yourself. A lot of y'all running away from thoughts that you have within your mind because either you've been listening to the wrong things, you've been watching the wrong things, you've been around the wrong people. So this is what I'm telling y'all. Y'all need to start falling in love with being by yourself so you don't mess around and accept the wrong company. Damn. You need to go ahead and be by yourself and love it and enjoy it and become one with it so you don't fuck around and be so afraid of being by yourself that you go get into the wrong company. You know, it's interesting because when you say company, you think about your business, right? But then when you say company, you think about your people, right? So if you got the wrong company, it's going to fuck up your what? Company. Ooh. If you around the wrong company, it's going to fuck up what? Your company. Your company. So y'all got to check in with the people that you're allowing in your company. And this is what I want y'all to do. I want you to check your phone, your call log, your text messages, and ask yourself, you can pass me a napkin, and ask yourself, right here, yeah, and ask yourself, these people that's been texting me, these people that's been calling me, have they been pouring into my cup or have they just been withdrawing? Have they been pouring into my cup or have they just been withdrawing? These people that's calling you, do they only call you to talk about themselves? When these people call you, do they ask you, hey, what's going on with you? How you doing? What you been working on? You see, when I get on the phone with my people, I'm like, yo, what you been working on? What you did today? Oh, I meditated. Okay, good. That's what I'm talking about. What book you reading? You see, that's the thing. Those type of relationships are not impossible. They're not hard to find. You just keep looking in the wrong places. Damn. Come on. Finding people that inspire you, finding people that keep you together, finding people that's always checking you. It's not hard to find. The problem is that you won't make space for those people because you got other people taking up space. You can't put in new furniture into an apartment that still got old furniture in it. You can't move a new tenant into a place that still got an old tenant in it. You got to get rid of the old in order to experience the new. A lot of y'all are afraid to let go of what you've always known, to experience what you've always wanted. Let me say that one more time. A lot of y'all need to get rid of and remove and delete what you've always known in order for you to experience it. Experience what you've always wanted. Period. And I'm just speaking facts, y'all. Like, y'all got to stop thinking that there's a lack of great people. That's the problem. If you keep thinking, listen to me now, if you keep thinking that there is a lack of great people, a lack of smart people, a lack of wise people, your reality will start to have more dumb people arise in your life. Y'all have to start being mindful of what you say. Don't always be upset that, oh, this person did this to me, this person did this to me, this person wasn't a good friend. Okay, instead of focusing on what this person did that you did not like, I want you to tell me what kind of friend you want to bring in, because this is showing you what you don't want. Whenever you get hurt, whenever somebody do something that you don't like, that is the matrix showing you this is what you don't like. What do you want instead? You get what I'm saying? You got to understand the restaurant sometimes is even going to serve you the wrong food. But it takes you to look at it, be like, nah, this is not what I want. But then when the waiter comes back and you give them your food, you say, hey, this is not what I want. They're going to say, well, what do you want then? What would you like to replace this with? So stop complaining and instead ask yourself, what do you want to replace this with then? So, for example, a lot of y'all don't like your jobs. You don't like what you do for money. What would you rather do? I want everybody to comment right now. What would you rather do as a career? For your wealth, what would you rather do? What would you rather do? Because that's the thing. A lot of y'all are telling me so much about what you don't want, what you don't want, what you don't like, what you don't like. I already know about that. But a lot of y'all can't even tell me what you do like, what you do want, what you do want to experience. If you know more about what you don't want than you do what you do want, there's a problem. My own business. What kind of business, boo-boo? What kind? Help people. How? You see, when y'all don't like what y'all like, when y'all don't like what you got going on, y'all can tell me exactly what you don't like about it. But y'all mean to tell me y'all can't even tell me the exact business? Oh, I want to start a hair business in this place. I'm going to do digital art. You get what I'm saying? You know, I just feel like you have to start getting real mindful about what you're entertaining and what you're thinking about on a daily. Period. 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 And the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm going to recommend a book for y'all, right? The book that I want to recommend for y'all is Reality Transurfing. I want to recommend the book Reality Transurfing. Reality Transurfing talks about how a lot of y'all allow the negative things in your life to suck out so much energy from your body. And because you're allowing it to suck out so much energy, where do you think that energy goes? That energy goes whatever is causing you to feel emotional. So if you're always thinking about your ex and your ex made you emotional, every time you think about them, you get upset. Guess what happens? That energy that you just garnered up emotionally goes to that person. That's the thing. I want everybody to comment, I take my power back. I want everybody to comment, I take my power back. Because you've been thinking about the past a little too long. And here's something that I had to ask myself when I was talking about something that I didn't really want to experience anymore. How long are you going to continue to tell the story about your past ex? How long are you going to continue to tell a story about somebody who did you wrong last year? How long are you going to continuously tell the old story? How long are you going to continuously tell the old story? That's my question. How long are you going to continuously tell your old story? You need to start telling your new story. Oh, my new story, girl, I moved to Atlanta after the breakup. I went to Atlanta. I started my business. I started hustling. I started doing what I got to do. I started making money. But instead, you want to keep telling me about what happened last year. And then you wonder why you're still stuck in the old emotions of last year. Do you know that when you talk about something that happened in the past, your body thinks that you're experiencing it right now? Do you know that? Do you know that? Hold on, y'all. We got some special guests coming on tonight. We got some special guests coming on tonight, y'all. We got a multi-platinum producer coming on this live today. I don't know if you guys heard the song What's Next, Thief in the Night, Myron by Lil Uzi Vert, Choppa Doctor by NBA Youngboy. This guy that we have he ready. This guy that we have coming on today. Hey, listen, everybody on my TikTok, listen, let me tell you something. Everybody on my TikTok and my YouTube, click the link in my bio. If you're on TikTok, if you're on Instagram, click the link in my bio and join me on YouTube because I'm about to interview Drake's producer. Drake, Young Thug, NBA Youngboy, Lil Uzi Vert, producer. He's an 11 Life Path, super spiritual. This is about to be a big one. So if y'all are not on my YouTube, you can go to my Instagram story. You can go on YouTube, look up Styx River. The guy who produced the song Sometimes, I'm telling you, y'all done heard some of his work. The guy who produced What's Next, Taking the Chain today, okay. And okay. Let's see what's about to happen next. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to tap into that, you want to get some information from someone who's been able to manifest their whole reality. We talking about working with Drake. You feel me? Working with Young Thug. You know what I'm saying? So click the link in my bio and join it on YouTube. Let me go ahead and get him in the call. Let's see what's good. I'm excited. Let's see what's good. We about to get him in the call. We on YouTube, so click the link in my bio and join my YouTube. All right. Let's get him in here. All right. Let's see. It's doing stuff. Okay. Hold on. They can't see you yet. I'm just trying to make sure I can hear you on here.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Okay. Hold on. Let me make sure they can hear you now. They excited for you, man.
Bro, you got a whole operation going on.
I do got a whole operation. Don't even worry about it. Listen, you got to understand, too, what's going to happen afterwards. This is just the front end of it. All right, hold on, y'all. I'm making sure everything sounds good on this side. Go ahead, say something.
Yo.
Oh, shit, nah. They can hear you. Oh, shit, nah. Okay, hold on. Let me put this full screen so I can. Full screen, yup. Okay, boom.
This enough light though, cause I got all my shit off.
Good.
Like I'm literally. Okay, but
you good. Okay, I'm making sure they can see everything good on here. Okay. Oh, he done put he got the studio lights. That boy done put the LEDs on.
Okay. That's the computer light, dog.
Oh. All right, y'all. Let me just let them know everybody on Instagram. All right, y'all. Everybody on Instagram and TikTok, y'all come over here and meet me on YouTube. This is about to be a really good conversation. Listen, y'all need to see that there's people in very high up places that's on the same shit that we on. Y'all just don't be knowing. Y'all got to understand these deeper ways of thinking is what allows you to break through to success. I've talked to so many highly successful individuals, and one thing that they always talk about is their mindset. You cannot get nowhere without mindset. So y'all come on and join us on YouTube. Everything is in the link in the bio, and I'll see y'all on the other side. Okay, cool. Yeah, man, so we got about 80 people so far here on YouTube. Okay, this about to be lit. All right, man. So first of all, for people who don't know you, right? For people who don't know you, go ahead and let them know who you are, what you done, and don't, cause I know how you be humble. Don't be like, well, I did that. No, let these people know who you are, where you from, and who you don't work with.
Okay. I mean, according to some of the people that write up about me and stuff like that, apparently I'm from space or I'm an alien or something like that. But in reality, I'm from South Carolina. My name is Super Mario. Demario Priester, for those who don't know. Um, I grew up in a small country town in South Carolina, like sort of like a little slave town, man. It's like hella country. It really ain't nothing out there. I grew up listening to a lot of music. I grew up around a lot of music oriented people. My dad, my uncles, my aunts, like people who just really, really take music serious in our family. And I mean, I just knew from a young age that's something that I would be doing probably for the rest of my life. You know, playing live instruments, wanting to be in bands. A lot of musical influence surrounding me my whole life. Um, as far as the catalog goes, I've worked with Young Thug. I started off with Young Thug, a lot of Atlanta artists. I've worked with Travis Scott, Quavo, Drake. A lot of people know me for
Wait,
working
hold
with
on. You
Drake.
ain't tell me you worked with Travis Scott.
Yeah, I did a record off of Honcho Jack that Travis and Quavo did.
Yo, I thought you were saying that you did it. That's crazy.
No. I honestly, I've never worked with Travis like on one of his albums. That's still a huge goal for me. Like I want to be on a Travis album, just to say I had that credit, and, you know, and I just like the music, but it was kind of like it wasn't really. It was sort of like a fluke the way that shit happened because I worked with who did I work? I worked with TM88 on that record for Huncho J. Yeah, I think it's called. I forgot what the record is called. God damn it, it's been so long. Somebody in the comments will think of it. My mind going blank when it comes to the record, but eventually it'll come up. But yeah, I work with them, NBA YoungBoy, a lot of rappers. I work with Tink in R&B stuff.
So how you
a lot of people
so how you came up with the name Super Mario? Like come on, where'd that come from?
So I didn't come up with it. You know, people make jokes because my name Mario. So just all throughout school, that's what people used to call me. They used to make Nintendo jokes. It got to the point where I was like, man, I might as well embrace it. I might as well run with it. So we ran with it. And I don't think I've ever had like another moniker. Like I didn't think of nothing else. I was like, bro, I don't know what to call myself. I'm just gonna go with either my full name or I'm gonna just go with Super Mario. And everybody was like, bro, it'll work for you, you know. But then I realized it was like 2 or 3 other Super Marios out there, so I had to spell it different.
Okay.
I had to add the H on the end of it. I did not want to do that. I really wanted to keep it SUPER, but you know, due to not wanting to get sued, we had to we had to take a different route.
So have you ever used any of the Super Mario sounds or anything within your production before?
Yep. Yeah, I definitely so there's like the little coin drop.
Yep.
I'll put that in there very subtly in like certain beats that I use. If I'm not using like the tag that my boy DC made or this tag that my homegirl Jazzy made, I'll use that just to like just so the name. You know Jazzy?
I don't know her. I know of her. I know her work.
She's super dope. Super dope.
So
yeah, she did my first tag.
So where are you from? Where are you from?
Well, like I said, I'm from South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina. Yeah, I grew up in Columbia, but I was born and raised like for the first 7 years of my life in Blythewood. I grew up with my grandmother in the countryest town you could think of, like in the sticks, in the boondocks. For real.
There's a lot of people coming out of there too lately. Like I'm seeing like a lot of talent coming out of Carolina.
Oh yeah, North and South. Some of the best, I feel like, in my opinion, some of the best producers come from South Carolina. Some of the better artists come from North Carolina, but when it comes to production, like,
why do you think so?
I don't know. I think it's because of the grassroots and like the country. Like we just like a lot of bounce in our music. You know how New Orleans has like a lot of bounce in their music. We take a lot of influences from places around us, like Memphis, Atlanta. You know, Atlanta's like our cousin, so it's like 3 hours away.
Okay,
right. Okay. Even Florida. So I think we have our own sound, but it's a mixture of everybody's sound put together.
Okay. So now let's get to some good stuff, right? I want to talk about like, because I know you found me through Instagram, you saw some content, but there has to be some backstory or some type of history of you getting into, esoteric field or just spiritual field or spirituality. What part of your life made you be like, like, I need to go deeper. I need to go inside myself. Like, usually a lot of times some people have said, oh, COVID had them, going deep within themselves because they had so much isolation. So can you talk
Yeah.
to people about, what got you into wanting to learn more about yourself and what's going on? Because if people don't know, you're an 11 life path and you're born the year of the snake, which for me, I've known that those two together have been some of the most esoteric, occult like the people who really study deeply about themselves and think deeply. So
Hmm.
how did you find your way into that?
Initially, and I think this happens for a lot of people. I think for me, it was like 2012. So it wasn't during COVID. COVID was a pivotal point as well, but 2012 is when it really struck for me because that was a year when everybody thought the world was going to end for some reason. I don't remember why.
The Mayan
Uh,
calendar.
yeah. And then it was like this whole talk about all the Illuminati stuff. I had no idea what none of that stuff was.
Mm.
So just like most people, it started with internet research and just trying to figure out what this whole Illuminati thing was and
That's
what
how it
what
always
this
start.
what the scheme was. You know what I'm saying? But the internet, I'm the type of person when I look on the internet, I never look at the stuff that's popular. I look at the stuff that they try to hide.
Yep.
So I look at the videos that's a little bit less popular, and I started discovering people like Alan Watts. And
Oh.
yeah, Alan Watts was huge for me. For a while I went on to like the little Alex Jones rants for a little while, and a lot of it made sense. I started connecting the dots. But what really opened up, and I hate to say it like this, but what really opened up my third eye was traumatic events.
See?
Like I think trauma plays a huge part in making
Fuck
people like
yeah.
really wake up. It does.
I mean,
And
maybe it's like alchemy.
that was huge. That was the first thing I studied.
Wow.
Once I really realized what I had got myself into, before I even knew what alchemy was, I was already looking it up and I was finding out, how our genes and how our DNA plays such a huge part in the makeup of our reality and how our mind plays such
Yep.
and then I started experimenting with changing my routine and just not getting stuck in such a routine. Routine was a huge thing for me. I was like, okay, if I switch up my routine, how will it affect my reality?
Yeah.
And I started realizing like, yo, this fabric that we live in is a little more loose than we think it is. It's not stuck like this. Like you can manipulate this stuff. So I think when it comes to like manipulating reality, a lot of it happened out of being traumatized, needing some kind of change in my life, needing to know where I'm at. What is this place?
Mm-hmm.
The right questions, asking the right questions and doing the research. But when I say trauma, I think I ran into a lot of higher up people who were into stuff. And I was always the type of person, I didn't care if I was gonna get myself in trouble or get in danger. I would test stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would try people. I would try things, ask people questions that most people wouldn't dare ask. Just to see what kind of response I get. Like I would ask people like, yo, are you into some shit that I don't know about? You know what I'm saying?
No way.
Like and I ended up meeting some shamans. I ended up meeting pastors. I ended up meeting religious leaders who kind of pointed me in certain directions and like in a sense kind of blessed me with the knowledge
Yeah.
for free.
Have you been on any like retreats? Have you been to like in any events that's like, they have a lot of spiritual events that happens? Like have you been to anything like that?
No, honestly, during the time that I was doing this research, I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know that was possible. Because I grew up in such a religious household
Mm-hmm.
that most of my ideology about God came from
Yeah.
Christianity. So, I'm everything that I'm discovering with that in mind. I'm keeping that in mind. What does this book say about this? How does it reflect in my everyday life? And what other books should I read to try to
Yeah.
find out how to compare these things? And a lot of stuff, was just it was a solo journey.
I've noticed too that a lot of these religions, like they all connect to like this one universal law. It's just through different groups of people, through different ethnicities, through different, divisions that they started to create. They don't even realize that besides all the drama that you have, we're all saying the same law. We're all saying the same
Exactly.
law. And it's like,
Is that and then
go
a
ahead.
lot of this stuff is like common sense. I
Yeah.
think we people in religion try to remove common sense, and to the average person who is on a spiritual journey, the first thing they want to do is how does this make sense? Like, and some of the religious practices and stuff that they teach don't add up to just
Yep.
normal regular, like the stuff we deal with on a regular basis. So when people start to ask questions, I think that's the best thing you can do is just ask questions. Is like, does this really make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Does it really add up? It's got to add up.
Yeah, I was just on Instagram and I saw how, there's a lot of people that'll demonize Africans and their practices and, how they do things, or Haitians and how they do things. But then I started to see that the Jews had the same exact practice as the people in Nigeria. Yeah,
Really?
as a way to cleanse their body. Basically, the Jews was using like a chicken to cleanse their body, and what they'll do is they'll give the chicken to the cross or whatever. But in Nigeria, they'll do the same thing. They'll cleanse themselves with the chicken. They'll pray over it and then give it away. But then you have the people on this side trying to demonize these people, but it's like, hold on, y'all are doing the same practices. So what is this has to say about the law of this practice? Why are y'all choosing to demonize one or the other? Is it just because you don't want them to be as empowered? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's crazy
Yeah.
because
I'll
go ahead.
go ahead. No. Go ahead.
No, and it's crazy because what people don't understand is that, and I'm sure you've experienced this on your way up, like you could be right on point. You could be right on point, right on target with your path and what you're supposed to do. But the people that can see that you're on point, the people that can see that you're loading up will try to take you off. Like they'll send you down the wrong path on purpose. Just because they
Wow.
see you intuitive, just because they can see that you intuitively on it. They'll be like, well, like I'm telling you, I've had people where I'm literally starting a certain type of business, and this goes any kind of way, y'all. For y'all that's saying, I want to do this practice, I want to be a part of this spirituality, I want to do this, you gotta trust your own knowing and your own being, because I've seen my spirit, my ancestors lead me towards the right path, but because somebody else can't stand the fact that my intuition is taking me there independently, and they had to go through whatever they had to go through just to figure out that answer, they'll try to make your path harder just because of how your intuition works.
Mm-hmm.
It's like throwing you off when
People
they know
people
that you
want
know.
some people need the validation of feeling like what they had to go through is right, and what they think that just because they had to go through it, that if you didn't have to go through it, then it's right for you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh nah, you didn't deal with X, Y, and Z like I did, so you're not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, everybody's journey is different. Everybody's calling is different. Everybody's path to knowing is a little different. And I think that's where you mature in spirituality, is knowing that everybody's path is different, and growth doesn't look the same for everybody.
Mm-hmm. And I
And
will.
just because you look at things a certain way or they look at things a certain way, ultimately I feel like everyone will find out that all roads lead to the same source.
Mm-hmm. I feel like too.
That's my thing.
I feel like too. And I don't have to know many of your experiences to just know from your life path and your birthday that you as a 11, you've been able to maneuver through some doors easier than some people. And what people don't understand, and you can tell me, what your thoughts on this too is, you know, you, when you are born a master number like an 11 life path, that means, man, you done served some years. You done served some lifetimes, actually. So when you keep coming back in these different lifetimes, you've alleviated some karma in your past lifetime. So of course, some doors are going to be easier to walk through this lifetime. So I want to know, what are your thoughts on you and like different past lives, or have you ever seen like had dreams where maybe you felt like this is a different reality, or what are your thoughts on past lives? Cuz you a
I'm gonna
snake
be
too.
honest.
So you a snake
If
too.
if I have, I don't remember none of it. I do get little glimpses and dreams of things that feel like deja vu, but I
Mm.
really don't remember. I think whatever life I'm living now, the source purposely was like, look, you got to do this again, and I'm not gonna give you any of the answers this time. You'll just feel it when it's right or when it's wrong. I feel like whatever life this is, I'm learning a lot of I'm relearning a lot of things.
Okay,
I feel like I have been here before, and I can see it reflections in my kids. Like those are like little subtle signs for me that you've done this before. And it's through them
Mm.
that I get these small signs. But to be honest, I have no clear recollection, or nor do I really know for sure whether I've been here or not. But I feel like I have.
Okay, okay.
That's all I can say when it
No,
comes to
for
that.
sure, for sure. I feel like, it's like a dream. Like a dream is like you feel it, but you don't really like have the type of context or awareness of what's going on. But this is kind of where I really want to go with this now, because there's too many people out there. They're getting stuck at a wall because they're thinking that things like what you do and things like what I do is the impossible. So my question to you is, how was it making, like, when did you make that decision and that commitment to yourself? Because a lot of people don't realize that there had to be a moment in time where you sat with yourself and you say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. When did you make that commitment and say, okay, this is what the hell I'm going to do? Like nothing else. This is what I'm committed to.
I made that decision at 16 years old when I just when I discovered like FL and like making beats and stuff. I already knew that this is what I wanted to do. And I knew that whatever I wanted to do, to it needed to be more than just about music. I needed to like tell my
Yeah.
story through, you know. So I first of all, I had to be uh very intentional about what I wanted to do.
Y'all write that shit down. Y'all write that shit
Like
down.
being intentional is huge, but also acting on those intentions. You gotta and not waiting on nobody to do nothing for you.
Mm.
And you gotta get out here and do like faith, taking the first step, deciding what you're gonna do, and then taking the steps to at least start doing it, no matter what it is. Like whether it's studying about it, whether it's buying a few pieces of equipment to get started, even if you don't know how to use the equipment. Um, just taking the first steps and then allowing the universe or whatever you want to call it to assist you and serve
Mm-hmm.
you in the areas that you don't know or that you don't have access to. Faith is a huge part of it. Intention is a huge part of it. And acting and, getting out and doing it is action is just huge for it. So I think I'll give you an example. Two Cup Stuff, one of the first songs I ever had that was doing something. So I was working a regular day job. I was a janitor. My girl was pregnant. We were living in this crazy looking duplex
Wow.
next to a dude that was doing meth, who was in a fucked up situation on Broad River Road. Right? I had no worries. Nothing tripped me out. I never doubted that I was gonna make it to where I am today. Never doubted that I was gonna get us a better house. The
Wow.
only thing I felt like I needed to do to make that happen was make good on my words, be consistent, continue to go to the job that I was going to, and to do right by the people who had like my girl. She bought me my first laptop,
Damn. Okay.
and I always swore to her that if we ever got to check off music or I got enough money, I was gonna bless her back 10 times over. Like I was gonna look out for her. She invested in my dream. I made a conscious decision that I would give that back. You know, putting that intention out there, even telling myself and keeping it real with myself, like, look, I owe this to this girl. I need to do this. So when Two Cup Stuff came, we got the song. I got my first check. I made sure the first people I paid was her and her mom, people who helped me. Her mom used to help me rent cars because they believed in me. Rent cars, they would pay for them, and I would drive out to Atlanta for like a day or two and just meet up with certain people.
Wow.
You know, so actually taking those steps, um, believing, even if I was driving in Atlanta, not knowing if I was gonna get in the studio or not, or meet certain people or not, I was waiting outside the studio and I ran in the South Side now. Next thing you know, I'm going back to the
Damn.
studio. Yeah. Then Southside let me stay at his crib. He let me stay at his house. He started seeing how consistent I was. It's such a long story, but I'm trying to narrow it down. But the real point is what is having faith, taking the first steps, and then allowing the universe to serve you throughout that process.
Okay, so now
And
go ahead.
going with whatever comes.
Okay, so now that you said that, right? Do you feel like learning to let the universe in? Because I feel like a lot of people don't realize how big that actually is. They feel like they have to do everything by themselves, and it's like what you didn't know how you was gonna make it happen. That was not a part of what you said. You didn't know how, but you knew what. So my question is did you always have that mindset of allowing the universe in, allowing, faith in, and allowing, that unknown to be
Yes.
exciting instead of scary? Were you always like that, or was that something that you kind of learned over time?
Uh I always had that, but I can't say that I wasn't scared. I was still scared, but I
Mm,
was willing to do things scared. So for a while, I found myself in a lot of wild situations that would make anybody be like, maybe this isn't a good idea. But even I just knew that I had to do it scared, and I understand that that's not easy for everybody. That especially people that feel like they need to have control over every aspect of their life, it's very hard for people to let go and just let God. You know what I'm saying? So
mm.
I completely understand how hard it is to relinquish some of that control and just see what happens. But if you can somehow put yourself in a space and give yourself enough time, because it's not on our time
Yeah.
how it happens. So if we can allow things to happen in an orderly fashion and noticing when it's starting to move in that direction, you also have to you success or progress doesn't always look like progress.
Ooh, go on, talk about that.
Like, well, I mean, for a lot of people, they think progress literally has to look like check marks and A pluses and stuff like that. And it's sometimes like the hardships that come, or the one way you know you're progressing is if you start seeing more distractions. I feel like
Ooh,
I saw a
damn.
lot more distractions. Started losing people. Started having a few doubters. Also, along with the doubters came new supporters. So you have to accept the duality altogether. You got to see both
Damn.
sides of it.
That one was a good one. Damn. Nah, that just definitely registered in my head because I be trying to tell people like, it's funny how the moment that you get on the track, you see when you was warming up, nobody was on the field, nobody was in the bleachers. But the moment that you got on the track, now it's people on the bleachers. Hey, where you do? Hey, what you going? Trying to distract you. Now, my question for you too now is that so you started to see things unfold, you started to see things happen. How did you deal with I got a two-part question. First part
Okay.
I want to ask you, let's start off with just artistry because I feel like a lot of people think that, and I've learned this from basketball, that your 100% is not going to look the same every day, right? So
Oh,
you being
that's huge. That's
yeah,
crazy.
your
Basketball can teach you a lot.
Yeah, so your 100% doesn't look the same every day. So the video you had sent me, you was talking about like you don't want to be one of those producers that's pumping out 19 beats a day. Is that because you're more quality over quantity? Like, do you feel like people trying to do that type of game? Like talk about that because people need to understand that even when it comes just not with producing, but just with life in general, with making content, with writing books, with whatever it is that they do. So go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah. So I think when it comes to progress for me, looks like, see, I come from a song background. I like making songs. I like
Mm,
arrangement of songs. I didn't. I didn't get into this to make beats. I think today's generation is more focused on making a really good beat, a really cool beat, like ear candy or whatever. Over time, I mean, that was me for a while, but then I realized, like, yo, I need to make songs. I need to put the quality over the quantity.
Mm.
So I'm used to being in the room with the artist, building the song from scratch. If I can get one good idea out versus 19 mediocre ideas, I'm satisfied. Because I'm like, it's like painting for us. Like I didn't get in this to draw 15 pictures. I got in this to make a nice piece of work, a really good piece of work. So I always keep that in mind whenever I'm creating. But it's not the same for everybody. That's just my approach.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is, is what it is for them. But for me, it's very important for me to make something that people are gonna remember.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I know this is kind of sidetracked, but I just gotta tell you, you're really good at what you do.
Oh, thank you.
Like, yes, absolutely. Like everything that you're doing and the way things are manifesting for you is a prime example of the conversation that we're having right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, you are an example of what people are trying to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Having an idea, seeing it from a seed and watching it grow. Not knowing who you're gonna run into, who's gonna be influential in your life, or add to your life, progress to your life. Letting things go or letting people go when they need to go, and
Damn.
trusting that the right people will come in.
Yes.
You know,
You don't.
I think in this journey I've learned that the universe will test you. It'll let you keep running into certain characters,
Yup.
and it's up to you to figure out who's who. Like, is this for me? Is this not? And you know, it won't give you or put you in the room with the right people until certain other people are gone, because
Yup.
it'll affect the energy. Like, life is it's gonna balance itself out anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you are a testament of just like having faith and allowing things to flow as they should. So I just want to commend you on that.
I really appreciate that, and I just want to let you know that there was a lot of space made for you without me knowing. So a lot of people and it was literally at a point where I'm like, what is going on, God? What's going on? Why are so many, like, people are dropping off like flies? Like, what's going on? And then it always happens where it's like I'm over here questioning about what happened with these people, and then here you go on Instagram, somebody new hits me up, or I run into somebody at a event, and it's like it all starts to become a full circle moment where you're like, ah. But this is one thing that I've noticed, and I'm not sure if you're ever like aware of this, but I've noticed that as you start to get closer to some people, you start to become in each other's stream of conscious, which means that if I hang out with you long enough, I come to your house, my phone is going to connect to your Wi-Fi, period, because that's what I came to your house long enough. You know how when you start hanging out with somebody long enough, you start finishing each other's sentences. You start being able to, you want to go pizza? How you know I wanted some pizza? Because you guys are both on the same frequency. But what people don't realize on a super deep, intricate level, us as artists, we have to be able to feel energetically on a deep, subtle level for us to be able to take these ideas and to bring them into reality. We are alchemists. So what people don't understand is that when you're hanging out with people like that who's doing things at such a high level artistically, we are more sensitive to energy than other people. So when people come into our stream of conscious and they're not doing what they're supposed to do, it can affect us. Next thing you know, we like, why am I feeling like, why am I clouded? Why am I clouded? Well, if you've been sharing thoughts with Eileen these past weeks, and Eileen went off tangent and did something that she knows she wasn't supposed to do, and the guilt is sitting in her head, guess what happens when she comes over to your home and she's connected onto your Wi-Fi? Your Wi-Fi not working on your computer right now.
Right.
Now you know what I'm saying? And that's where people don't realize, like, whoever you're surrounding yourself with matters. And now this goes into my next question. Who was it that you started to be around that because whenever we start getting into in front of millionaires, in front of people that's successful, it expands our mind and changes the way that we think, the way that we spend a dollar, the way that we think about a dollar. So who was it that you started to hang around in the beginning that started to change your mind away about how this happens, or how close it is, or how simple it is, or how it's not as hard as we think? Who was those people that kind of helped you shape your mind?
Man, all right. So I'm gonna tell you who, and then I'm gonna give you an example of one time when they really did it, and it's crazy. So I had two mentors, and they're actually my first publishers. There's a guy named Billy Mann, uh, older white guy, Jewish guy. He's a major writer. He used to write for Pink, Britney Spears, all these different people. And then he started a publishing company and signed me. And his business partner, his name is Benton James, black dude. He was my day to day. That's who I used to ride the train with. Every session he was at with me and stuff like that. Billy, the white guy, was more of, he was us. He was like us. And one time, I think it was like 2018, I went and stayed at his house for like 3 days. We got snowed in because they live in like Connecticut or something like that. So we got snowed in and we had like a writing session. And this was during the time where I was waiting on my first Drake record. So I knew I had the record, just didn't know if it was going to make the album. And I was shitting over this record. Like I was tripping, like, bro, I need this so bad. Like it was consuming me how much I needed the record to happen. And one day he seen like we was writing and he seen how unfocused I was. He was like, all right, look, we're going to take a break. And this is something that you're going to relate to this because you told me the same thing. He said, we're going to take a break. We was chilling one day. Me and him went for a ride, was just talking. He was talking about everything else except for music, trying to get my mind off of that. Something clicked in me and was like, he's trying to teach you a lesson. This whole thing is about to teach you a lesson. I don't know where it came from, but just the notion just popped up in me. So I was like, all right, what's going on? Maybe me worrying about it too much is deflecting it. It's pushing it away instead of attracting it. And then the day came to where we really needed to find out if we were on the project. And he was like, come on, let's go down in the basement. He got a whole gym set up. We worked out, hit the punching bag. I was doing push-ups, lifting, all kind of different stuff. And it's like that day he showed me, like, if you focus your energy on something else and work your, exercise in a different space in your life and let that breathe and let it grow on its own, it'll come to fruition. And the next day we got a call that we was on the album. So it was like, I don't know what he did. I don't know what we learned from that, but I think something about working out and him just like teaching me how to not damage my own blessings by focusing on them too hard. And just letting it be, putting it out in the universe and letting it grow on its own.
What song was that?
It was Ice Melts.
Ice Melts, okay.
So it was Drake. It was on More Life. It was Ice Melts featuring Young Thug. And I swear I thought we weren't going to get that record because the record, I was like, bro, this just doesn't fit the album. Like, I don't think he's going to use this shit. It doesn't go with the rest of the album. The album was like really like Afro beats. So I was confused. I was like, bro, I don't know how this happened, but we really manifested this. He taught me how to not get in the way of my own manifestation. And that's when I realized how important it was to have spirituality, even in your career, in your music industry, and whatever it is you're doing. You still got to have that same mindset.
So, we talked about you working out too, because you an 11. And that's the thing. 11 life paths can get, very emotional. You look at the word emotional, exercise, both start with the same thing. And I think the reason why is because just off of what I know about 11s is that when we take a step back from things, and I almost think about it, everything like basketball. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, 11 life paths. So you see where they take a lot of that intense energy and they put it into their craft. And the thing about you is when you feel for something, you feel for it intensely. Now, what I noticed,
and we stew on it, and we sit here and marinate on it for so long.
But I mean, that's what people do with the emotions. They marinate on them. But I think when you started to work out, you started to transmute it, and this space of emptiness that you were shooting your energy at, and technically almost like weakening yourself because your energy is not circulating within your own aura, because your own aura is what needs to amplify in order to attract it. So because your magnet isn't open but it's closed because you're focused on something else, it had some blockages. It couldn't make its way to you because I always use this example right here, right? Like a dog. When somebody loses their dog, a lot of times their dog is gonna come back. A lot of times their dog is gonna come back home. They know where home is at. But if you go looking out for the dog, when the dog comes back, you're not gonna be there because you went out looking for it.
That's dope.
You know what
That
I'm
is
saying?
super dope.
I've noticed that with women. I've noticed that with all relationships. I noticed that even in magnetism and a lot of, psychology, the moment that we start to stick our hand out, that's when we don't get it. Because that starts to show us. I can't imagine if maybe how much sooner you would have found out if instead of questioning it, you would have been like, I know. Like, I know. I'm going to just let it go because I just know.
Bruh, and there's been times where I just been in complete awareness and knowing, complete sureness. Like I know what's going on. And those have been some of the best moments of my life is when I affirm that I know and I actually feel it and I know it. It's can't nobody tell you nothing. Like you just you know it. And it work and everything starts to work in your favor. But it's for some people, especially people like me who have a problem with doubting, it can affect you if you can't stay in that space. And it's very hard to stay in that space all the time. It's something that you really gotta exercise.
I mean, shit. Every all the NBA players eventually have a little bit of doubts, but that don't mean they stop shooting too. You know.
Right. So it's you gotta continuously practice that. But for me, it was like it would happen in like the most random ways. Like I would like back when I used to smoke, because I don't smoke no more. But when I used to smoke weed, like bruh, I used to know
Yeah.
so much shit. Like I used to attract so easy because so much was open in me
Yeah.
at the time. But now I'm trying to learn how to do that same thing sober. I'm trying to have that same energy sober. Like I drank like mushroom tea and shit like that to get the same effects. But eventually I want to be able to do it without nothing.
Yeah. So
I want to be in that space.
My question for you, because we was just talking on something that you made a point which was beautiful, and I feel like these people need to hear this. How do you continue to believe in something that and this is a part of the manifestation process. How do you continue to believe in something that you know but can't see? Or how about the point when you're manifesting something and you know it's gonna come true, but the physical reality is almost trying to trick you. So it'll send people to you. Like, let's say you say, like, oh, I'm platinum, but then the outside reality would try to send some type of NPC or some type of bot to try to bring down your confidence. How did you navigate that? And how did you continue to believe in something even though you couldn't exactly see it?
Well, to answer the
Like a
first
bank account.
question, I feel that. All right. So to answer the first question, as far as like not being able to see it, I've never needed to see shit. Like I feel like I work out. If any sense works the best for me, it's how I feel. So even when things are years away, I can feel them coming. We got to learn how to tap into like our sixth sense. And once you can tap into like that knowing, can't nobody tell you shit. It don't matter what NPCs or who says what. Like I've always been the type of person anyway, like, especially if I'm good at something, you cannot tell me that I'm not gonna make it in this. The only way I'm not gonna make it is if I'm dead. And you gotta be that sure of yourself. You have to be so sure of your ability, and you have to be sure. Honestly, that's it. You have to be sure of yourself. And you also have to have some kind of knowing that you're not in control of everything. So whatever you're not in control of, that's the part that we have to learn is how to allow the universe to work for us. People think that the universe is against us. No, the universe is always testing you, but you have to go through enough experiences to realize that. You have to have enough experiences that kind of knock you down and then keep getting up and moving and realize, oh, this thing is just trying to like whip me into shape.
Yup.
Right. Because it didn't kill me. So if it didn't kill me, that means I must be meant to keep going. Like I gotta keep going. I don't have a choice but to keep going because what the hell else am I gonna do out here?
Period.
Go ahead. Oh shit.
There we go. Okay, we black. You know what I'm saying? We black. Okay, so yeah, I like that. The fact that you said you don't need to see it, that's probably what has you manifesting at an extreme rate based off of, and this is not to compare anybody, but this is just so people can understand what part. This is an 11 life path. 11s are really great at manifesting. So this is probably something that a lot of y'all are struggling with when it comes to making things come into fruition, is you're thinking that you need to see it. But one thing that I've noticed is that illusion starts with eye, right? Your eyes. When people do magic trick, is usually an illusion on the eyes. So a lot of times, y'all have to understand that the most real things are the things that you can't even see. Some of the most
Yeah, and
yeah, go ahead.
one of the things that we get attacked, one of the places we get attacked most is in our eyes, what we can see. Like we get attacked and tricked and confused via the eyes most of the time. Sometimes it's what we hear, but 9 times out of 10, most illusions are meant to be seen.
Ooh.
And that's where they try to affect you at, because they notice the eye is the window to the soul. If you can really convince somebody of themselves or convince them against themselves, you kind of already got them. So if you can eliminate the need for just visually seeing things all the time, you're already putting yourself in the gym. You're putting yourself in the boxing ring. You're putting yourself in a space where you have to exercise other senses. And those other senses need to be exercised in order to be able to manifest more. You can't just manifest off of your thoughts and your eyes. You have to work the rest of your body. Arm, leg, arm, head.
Period.
All these things play a huge part in how you create and shape your reality. Even our hands have feelers and sensors, like fingertips. They all have, you can push out energy like with these things. Too. That's a whole nother thing. We can get into that on a different day, but we're not just physical beings. Like, we do way more than what we think we do. And when you start to believe in yourself, when you start to realize that you're more than just a person, you activate that power in yourself to start manifesting easier as well.
And it's funny too, talking about the eyes is interesting because you said it's the window to the soul. And I remember watching the movie Matrix, and they were traveling in and out of like mirrors and like portals. Like that was the portal. So it's interesting because it's like y'all have to be careful of what you look at too. Because I feel like certain things, they'll make you look at it because they understand the symbolism goes straight to the subconscious mind. So that's why I always tell people, going back to Egypt, why y'all think that on the pyramids, it was iconography? It wasn't just words. It was also pictures. It was also drawings, because we all can look at that picture of that eye on the pyramid and instantly feel something, instantly receive the information. Yet nobody has exactly told us what it means. Nobody has exactly told us what it means, yet we can see that imagery and it can download within our mind. Now, what I'm gonna do
I see that a lot with my kids too. I see that a lot with my youngest, who's like 8 months right now. So she's like, we don't necessarily have to tell her everything or what something is. Like, she'll see a physical representation of something and apply it, as is needed. Like me playing drums or whatever. Like, I have drums in the house. I don't play them a lot, but she sees the sticks, immediately picks up the sticks and knows that to hit the drum. We bought her own drum. She picked it up and immediately knew what to do with it. I think when it comes to like imagery is sometimes also a universal language.
Yes, it is.
So sometimes we need it, and the human brain seems to download that better than words sometimes, is what I've noticed.
I agree. That's what I was saying. I think what I've learned is that from Egypt, they called it iconography. And like, for example, I don't know if you ever seen like the hospital, how the hospital logo is a caduceus and it's like two serpents. Like, that's the medical logo. The medical logo of the fucking America, at least that's what I've known, right? Is an Egyptian symbology. Not even not even American. It's an African Egyptian symbology of two serpents wrapping around this stick and this caduceus. And it's interesting because we all know if you really want to become healthy, look at your spine. Look at your spine. You know what I'm saying?
I got a lot to learn. I need you to teach me some stuff about that.
We gonna go into it because you born year the snake. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say you gotta make sure you doing your yoga. You gotta make sure you doing your kundalini. You gotta make sure your spine.
Some of that stuff I do naturally.
See,
Yo, I
of course you
literally
do it naturally.
I'll stretch as a form of like relief. If I've been around tight situations all day, I've been around the wrong people all day, and I just feel like cramped up and I feel like off. I literally come home and I stretch and I do whatever I gotta do, like
Shake it
to
off.
alleviate myself of that energy, and it works every time.
Exactly. Yeah, because you picking up on energy. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna add on Arquez. So Arquez has done some stuff. He's done some stuff with Doja Cat. He's done some stuff with. Hold on, let me make sure. Let me get out of here. Hold on. He's done some stuff with Doja Cat. He's done some stuff with NBA YoungBoy. He's done some, and he actually. Well, I can't get out of here. Okay, here we go. He actually said that he was going to LA a lot. He said he actually stopped going over there because I guess he didn't really like it. He started making his own spiritual raps, and from there, that's what he's been doing. So I think more towards this conversation, what I really want to go into is, how has it been finding people within this realm who are like you, and how you were able to walk away from the people who weren't like you. So I'm gonna get him into this conversation because I like to find people who are not willing to move away from their authenticity. Let me see. Can I add him to him? Can I add him to this call? Hold on, y'all. Let me go ahead. We gonna add somebody in here. So yeah, man, I think this is beautiful. I think we're doing something really dope. People need to see that there's people on high levels that get it. Okay. There we go. I did something. Oh snap! What's up, Arquez?
What's up?
Okay, hold on.
Oh,
Let's make sure y'all can. Okay, let me make sure y'all can see me. Okay, Arquez, meet Super Mario. Super Mario, meet Arquez. I hope I'm saying your name right, man.
Arcades, yeah, Arcades. How you doing, man? How y'all doing?
You can't hear him?
Y'all can hear me?
He said he can't hear. Hold on. I'll put.
Can he hear you?
Can you hear me? Okay, hold on. Look.
Did it mess up?
Probably. Hold on. Leave and come. Let me text it in the chat. Tell him leave and come back. Leave and come back. Yeah. So yeah, man. We so Arcades, we got him coming back. So what we're talking about? Let's see if you can hear us now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
There we go. Okay,
babe.
You just gotta turn your camera back on. So you should see there we go. Okay, now let me put this in grid view so everybody can see this. Full screen. Oh, it's dope.
Okay.
Oh, this dope.
What happened?
So listen, y'all. I know y'all haven't really been doing too much streaming, but I just want to let both of y'all know this right here. What we doing is where shit's gonna start going. I'm telling y'all now. Cause I be good at seeing the patterns and stuff like that. A lot of this is what's gonna start happening. People are gonna start having just conversations online. People are gonna start creating watching shit like this. Cause I would be able to actually show y'all shit, and we would be able to react to stuff too. So I just want to let y'all know that y'all niggas need to get into streaming. Y'all niggas need to get into streaming for real. So
I'm trying to, man.
Yeah, we gonna work on it. So. Arcades, I know you in your setup. I'm in my setup. He in his setup. Now, Arcades, when did you start making music? When did you start making beats and producing and rapping?
I started producing in 10th grade. I used to be a type beat producer, like a big
So
type
16.
beat producer on YouTube. Huh?
So 16.
Yeah, about 16, 17.
Interesting. What the fuck
Mhm.
going on with 16? Why everybody? Why is that like a numerology year at 16 years old? It's like it's like a friendly year. Okay, that's why. See, I got my numbers out
Okay.
here. I got the numbers. So that makes sense. So, but now that lets you know that anything that y'all started at 16 is positively gonna benefit you. Now, Arquez, I want you to
Mhm.
let the world know some of the people that you've created for. Let them people know that you got them tough.
I mean, a bunch of rappers used to just come on my beat on my YouTube and just take beats like JD Youngin A's. I was like in this group in this group a bunch of different producers. It was like a group, me, TNT XD, that y'all probably know TNT XD, Taj Money,
Hold
Zach.
on, my boy. Hold on. Time out. Don't tell me you from the Carolinas, bro.
I
Yeah,
You sound geek, bro. Hold on. You from Charleston, bro?
yeah.
Yeah. I can hear the Geechee accent. He right up the street from
Okay,
me.
not
Like,
a lot of people know that. They'll say Louisiana, but you gotta know what you talking about if you say Geechee.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. A lot of my family
Yes,
out in
sir.
Charleston, man.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. A lot of spiritual energy down there, man.
Yep. And then the fact that he mentioned like TNT, all these guys, all of us are from the same area. So it's crazy how you know
alignment. See,
yeah,
telling
that's
you.
wild.
Yeah, they from something. So yeah, they right there.
I didn't mean to cut you off. That shit just blew my mind. Though. That's
See,
crazy.
I'm just, I told you the alignment gonna be there. The alignment gonna be there. So go ahead, finish.
That's fact.
You said JD Youngin A's. Go ahead, finish your list.
NBA YoungBoy, NLE Chopper, and it's like who else? Doja Cat. Well, I actually that's when I started converting into rapping. Like I started rapping on my own beats. That's when I started working. Well, I really was working with Glock 9 a lot. Like I was like I was his main producer for He Got Locked Up. And he put me on to Rocco Valdez, his manager. Then he put me on to Dr. Luke. And then Dr. Luke, that's when I started rapping. And then Dr. Luke started working with, that's why we're going back and forth to LA, because Dr. Luke started working on my voice. Then with my voice, I ended up getting the song with Doja Cat and Mulatto. So it's like, that's when I started working on my voice, it's like, I took that voice, I was going in that direction, but it was like, I could just tell it wasn't me, like, because deep down, like my roots are spiritual, deep down, my roots is, this is what I was studying on the low. So it's like, once that stuff, like I feel like I learned everything I had to learn on how to make music with them, but then I took it to help the people as far as like, that's why I started doing the spiritual rap and I blew up immediately doing this. So I was like,
So let me ask you this.
it just was right.
When did you make that decision and what caused you to make that decision to be like, man, I'm not going to LA no more. Like, I'm for to do what I'm for to do and take a risk because you understand a lot of people would not do that. Like, you literally just named so many like A-list, B-list celebrities or whatever. And you're like, yep, I'm done. I'm gonna rap on my own shit. Like, what?
No, it wasn't that I was done. It's I saw a better pathway, because like even with do the spiritual stuff, like I was just in 20 like me and SG Kid Hazel, 21 Savage producer. You know Hazel, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You don't know? Oh yeah, Hazel. I was just in the studio. He's spiritual, super spiritual. So like, it's a lot of spiritual rappers. Like he was telling me, Narda Wick used to talk to his water to manifest him getting to where he at.
Yeah, Nardo Wick.
Yeah, like
That sounds like African spirituality. Like that's not light. That's like that means, and that's the thing because I know in Atlanta too, a lot of our people are starting to really get deeper into their own spirituality. But I will say too, we got to be careful because now that spirituality is becoming almost like a criteria for us to work with some people and be with some people. Some people are being chameleons and acting like they in the practice or that they about that life.
Yeah, but it's easy to tell. I mean, you like one wrong move, especially if you really in that. Especially if you really know, you can see it. You can really tell. And it's a lot of people. You'll have certain conversations that they'll try to maybe shy away from or if they just not knowledgeable in it, they'll try to avoid having those talks. But you got to test people. You definitely got to test people, and you got to see who you're around, because it's detrimental to your well-being in your life as far as who you're around.
Exactly.
And I'm just thinking about that, like, bro, like, I never really even thought about, like, all, like, you from Carolina, like, all that Taj and TNT, they're the biggest, like, all of us is from the Carolinas, and we doing something huge in the music era in general, like, dang, something up with Carolina, man. Hold on, I gotta really tap
it's time. We waited for so long, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie, between us, Florida, and places like Louisiana, like, I feel like Atlanta had it for so long. I think things just naturally shift, just like years shift. Like, I think things just shift over time. It's just our time.
Period.
Yeah, pretty much.
So finish talking about, you said the path showed up. So what do you mean? How did that path show up? Like, what happened?
Like when I was with Taj and all them boys, like it was a point in time where I had like a shift. It's like I had 18 million views worth of beats on my YouTube, and something tell me to just delete it all, because I feel like I don't know what was within me. I don't know what it was. I felt like because around the time I was making beats for them, I was also learning about frequencies. I used to like play with the frequencies in my beats. Like, I used to change the frequencies, like the 432 and 528. So once I started learning and stuff like that, I was like, oh, like, it's like I felt like I was using my power is to be like a musician, because music is the language of the universe, and I felt like I was using my gift for. I was Glock 9 main producer, so everything he rap on was killing your own people, and it's like I was enhancing that through my beats. And I was like, I had to realize, like, do I want to continue this, or do I want to be somebody to make a change, like at least change frequencies in the beats, or try to rap about something different on it or something, And it's like, yeah, that's what it's like. I just had like an awakening in an awakening. So it's like,
do you ever feel like that, Mario? Do you ever feel like that, like about like?
Yeah, I mean, I was in the same situation. I started off making beats for Thug, and you know how he get down. So, and you can feel
we gotta eat though too.
Huh?
Oh, my bad. No, I was like, we gotta eat though too. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why, the BMI checks them thing nice.
But right. Let me ask you though. At one point, at what point do we say, okay, the artist has to start, I guess changing the art, or do we go back to the system and saying, well, this system created these experiences that these artists went through because of where they're from too? So that's kind of where I want to ask y'all, like, what do you think about that balance where it's like, okay, well, this is like the artist's life though, and we know the artist went through this life because of whatever crack war was on the streets and they got caught up into it. You know what I'm saying? So how do y'all feel about that? Do y'all feel like there needs to be a shift now? Like, do y'all feel like we need to move the inner, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do y'all feel about that?
Go ahead, bro. I'm gonna let you go.
Oh, like, do it need to be? You say, do it need to be a shift?
Like, no, like, we look at They Clone Tyrone. Some people are just products of their environment, and they're not even understanding of what role they play in it. So, of course, they're going to make music about their life. But then at one point, do we actually tell the artist to kind of like take accountability and kind of move away from that?
I think it's one step at a time, because like how like I was talking to Hazel for like hours yesterday in the studio, and he was like he said he'll be in the studio or he'll be around them, and then he'll have like a pack of herbs, and he'd be like, hey, pass it to them. Like, he'll just pass it to 21 Savage. He takes sea moss and stuff like that. Like, he be like he putting mulatto on it. Like, he done send mulatto one of my videos. And like, just it's just one step at a time. You just send them some stuff, Here, try this out. Tell me how you like this on some stuff. Just give it to them,
Yeah.
See if they like it. Try to.
That's somebody that you need to get on here too. Kid Hazel is not only a producer who works. Yes, he works with some of the biggest names but the man has developed his own brand. He is basically marketing himself almost like another Dr. Sebi.
Exactly.
Like, and it's working. Like the stuff that he's growing his own sea moss. He's selling his own sea moss products. He's not only doing it for like consumption, but like even like products to put on your skin and stuff like that. I think he's working on right now. You can tell that's his passion. He knows a lot about what's going on out here. That's definitely somebody to keep in mind.
Y'all see how shit's changing? Y'all see how people are starting to become very more independent thinking. They're no longer thinking that they have to only make it this way. They're no longer thinking that they have to be a part of this system to make it. They're starting to see, you know what? And I really feel like X did a big, because somebody just commented about X. I feel like X played a big part in people realizing that you don't have to sit here and play this role as like, oh, I gotta be the producer, so I can't branch out and do these type of brands or do the CMOS. But now we're finding out that a lot of these artists are actually onto the fact that you just told me about that, about 21 Savage. That just changed the way I completely viewed him, because I'm like, wow, so he's actually tapping into this type of stuff. So
yeah, if you listen to some of 21 Savage interviews, you can see the growth. You can hear growth. You can tell that this man, I mean, he putting the other people on, like, bro, you don't got to do this gangster shit every day, all day. Like, you supposed to grow from that. And if you listen to his interviews, he speaks on that a lot.
Have you
and being around J. Cole, I've never worked with him, but I do. I follow his movement. Like, that's one of the few rappers that I really respect. I went to the show last night. I went to the Drake shit last night. Man, them people went up for that boy. Like, Drake shit was crazy, but when 21 came on stage, bro, they lost it. Wow. Shit was crazy. His impact and where he's going in his career. I noticed something about a lot of rappers. Like, some of the rappers that you think are just like doomed, these niggas is going to jail. Like, you think they're going to jail. Some of the people that we think are the worst end up becoming some of the best influences, becoming converted, start to see the light, you know, and become better people over time.
He's born October 22nd. October 22nd.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
Even at
master number. October
even
22nd.
Even in Peaches and Eggplants, 21 Savage say, I'm taking a shroom or something. He said something about shrooms. I don't know if y'all peeped that.
So I mean Mario, you know what they say about the shrooms on the actual game, Super Mario. How are you, like, when it comes to, I know you're talking about the teas, like, have you tripped out before?
I took shroom chocolates for the first time when I was in LA, and then, I don't think I did enough, because them shits ain't really do nothing for me. I was just like, this shit ain't do nothing. But when I drink it, like, I drink that instead of coffee now. And it definitely gives me a lot of energy. It helps with brain fog a lot, and it's like a mood balancer in a sense too. Like, it eliminates having like really bad attitudes and stuff like that too. So I'm a big advocate for mushrooms.
Okay. I mean,
right. Oh, you say you drink shroom tea? You say you drink?
It's not. I don't make it as a tea. I make it more so like a coffee. So like I use mud water, and then I just put like coconut milk or like certain non-fat creamers and stuff like that. I use it in it, but it still has the same effect.
Okay.
I fuck with mud water. I ain't believing it at first.
Mud water. I mean,
mud water.
That don't sound very pleasing. Mud water. Let's drink some mud water.
Nah, it just looks a certain way. It looks like mud, but it's like lion's mane. All the really important mushrooms.
So let me ask you this, Mario. Right. What?
Oh yeah, that's I got this from Hazel. Speaking of, I got this from Hazel. This is his sea moss gummies.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Yeah, type stuff.
Man, I wonder how he doing that shit, man. This
passion fruit.
This is good though. They taste good.
Boston.
All right, I'm gonna fuck
super
with them.
Good.
I'm gonna see what's up, because I don't know. I haven't known sea moss to taste good.
Right, like
gummy.
I'm gonna have to see what's up. Okay, now Mario, my question was, you hear what talented producers like our kids are saying, and they're like, like, I don't really want to maneuver through this type of experience, or I don't want to. How can you bring the balance back to that, and make us aware that that there are people who are very much in the spiritual realm making music at high levels, and how can people navigate, a space like this that can be very ego filled and ego driven?
Yeah, I'll answer it, but I also want him to. We never really got the insight on what put you in this space from like, oh, I'm just going in the music industry full force, and then kind of taking a step back and being like, wait a minute, this ain't what I thought it was. This shit something funny.
So go
you talking
ahead.
about
Yeah,
me?
yeah, you go ahead and say that part
Yeah.
then.
Okay, so
Like,
y'all want to just know the story? Okay,
for sure.
started making beats in 10th grade. I didn't know I was gonna go up that far. Like I didn't know as soon I could do instrumentals real good. So like any like Zaytoven, like real songs, that's like I was like one of the best. Like I could go off of air, find all the sounds. So it's like I was going up off of instrumentals, just type beats, uploading it when these rappers just come out, because there was a lot of rappers coming out around I think 2018. I like YB in the mirror, so I used to try to be the first person to make the beats. Went up real fast, like hundreds of thousands of views off of type beats. And rappers, just all kind of rappers use making money off the beat. So it shifted a little bit when my mama told me, when I graduated, my mama told me I had about 20,000 subscribers. My mom told me college or military. That's around that time. That's when I was going. Around that time, that's when I was going through my spiritual week. I was like, how this in military when I got a whole new lane of income with the beats. I was like, okay, I gotta figure out like what's going on. Like around that time, that's when I had my spiritual awakening. Daylight, shout out to Daylight. He my friend now. He the one woke me up, and now he my friend. But it's crazy. But I was going through my spiritual awakening type stuff, but I already was in tune with these rappers making beats for them type stuff. So making beats ended up locking in with Glock 9. So me and Glock 9 was locked in. Like that was the person who I was making beats for. So his manager, Rocco Valdez, he they wanted to sign me type shit. They wanted to, sign me on some stuff. And I said no the first time type stuff. But then like I really was just cool with him type stuff. So I started rapping on my beats for fun. And he starts sending it to Dr. Luke on the side. He starts sending it to Dr. Luke. He sent it to them, and Dr. Luke ended up liking it. So he ended up liking the stuff I was sending. So he flew me and my mama back and forth to LA to work with songwriters. So I was just going back and forth just to work on my sound, because it's so much songs I can let y'all hear on some stuff. But it's like but I didn't kind of like him, because it was like I was working with Lizzo songwriters. So like when I first go to LA, if y'all have never worked with songwriters, basically like they'll tell you what they want you to say. Like I'll go there and make my own songs, and then it's like it threw me off. Like I'll make a song, and then the songwriters, or they'll come in and be like, all right, now I like it, but take that whole verse off. We gonna keep this part and put this part here and put that part there. I was like, what? So it's like none of this was good. I was like, but I feel like it was training me for what I do now. So it's like, but as I was going back and forth, I was, I was learning from the engineers that was there, because I lived all the way in South Carolina. So
hold on. But this, something you just said goes back to what we was talking about before you even got on here. How an experience that was meant or looked negative, it was something that you could learn from, and that was going to end up shaping you to be what you are now. Like instead of looking at it and being like, damn, these people don't fuck with me, or they just don't like my style. It's like, I can, this might not have felt good, but it's sharpening me. It's sharpening my skills. Like everything is for our good, depending on how we look at it. So their mindset played a big part in bringing you to where you are as well. All right, that's all I had to say about that.
So, yeah.
No, that's 100% facts. That's 100% fact, because it's like I always feel like I was doing songs and stuff for them, but I always feel like they didn't take me serious. I had all kind of songs sitting there waiting for it to drop. I was still going through stuff with my girl at the time, so it was like sitting here literally waiting for years. Like I made that Doja Cat song 3-4 years ago. I was literally going broke. Like I always knew I wanted to do the spiritual stuff, and even when I was like doing, like I was like on their side, like rapping and stuff, like I would like kind of peek the spiritual stuff like on my story, and they would tell me not to post it. It was like, yeah, don't post that. They like it was.
They tell you not to
Yeah, they was
post.
like they don't. Yeah,
Who is
don't post.
who
They
is
was
they?
like Dr. Luke, not no high. It's just the people who I was were like Dr. Luke and Rocco. They was like, because if we gonna put you out on and how we want to put you out, we don't want them to think that you weird and a conspiracy theorist and stuff like
Oh
that. So it's
yeah,
like, dang.
that listen, that censoring shit is a major problem in this industry. Trying to censor the artists, even producers. Like there's been times when I say some shit or I post some shit on Twitter or whatever. My managers is like, "Hey, bro, you can't say shit like that. You can't." And it don't even be like super negative shit. Now, it's been times where I be on there screaming at A&Rs like, y'all niggas suck. Like, y'all suck at y'all job. Now, that kind of shit I understand. But like, if I'm representing myself or if I'm just being authentically me and you tell me that's not good enough, that's probably one of the first signs of knowing, like, the real nature of this industry.
Yeah, it's like, dang, like I can't be myself. This is crazy. So yeah, it's like it really was. Oh,
So that's like where it started. Like that's the beginning of where you was like, okay, I'm not like
yeah,
that.
it felt like everybody just was. It's like I had all of this within me, and it was like I was just trying to hold it all in to make certain people happy, and it's like it was kind of draining me, making me. I knew my potential, but it was like I was holding it all of this in down, just trying to do what people want me to do so I can get in my position. But I had to realize I'm the one that even got me in this position. So why I think somebody else can make me get bigger when I'm already here and do myself. So it's like I had to realize, okay, I literally have to just not care about what they think or what they care. I literally just had to go with my soul because I was 100% broke after I broke up with my ex. I had to go back to my mama's house on some stuff. I had to make something happen. I couldn't wait for that Doja Cat song no more. I couldn't wait on them. I had to do something. So I just went with my energy.
Mario was talking about waiting on like his first Drake feature, and the moment that he let it go, that's when it actually pulled through. But okay, so now I know Mario wanted to answer the question that I had, which was based off of our kids. So how do we navigate through an industry like this, keeping our authenticity, finding the right people, and knowing when we should be taking a step back?
Intuition is always gonna be number one. Going with your gut, like he did, and also having faith, like he did. And if it ain't the right move for me, I take a step back and just sit back, regardless of the money, regardless of the situation right now. I will wait on the proper situation that aligns with who I am and my spirit. Sacrifice. That's what I call that. Like you sacrificing the prize right now for the major prize later. You said it earlier. You said when you got into what you're doing now, you saw either the same amount or even more success off of that. But along with that success, you feel better. So there's a certain amount of fulfillment that comes with what you're doing as well at this level. That's worth way more than just some bullshit ass industry check. The money be cool. The money is cool. I get it. Understand it, especially to a person who really needed it. I've been in that place where I really needed it. You know what I'm saying? But never put yourself in a situation where your morals and who you are as a person are compromised because of your current life situation. If you got to go work a job for another 3 years while you build your dream and what it is you truly want to do. What was? Oh, that was a cat. What's that? That was a cat.
My cat has never done no shit like that before.
The cat the cat got something to say, bro.
She tried to jump on my shoulder. Damn, girl.
You feel the energy?
I think so, because she never done that.
But hey, on some real shit, I think it's no deeper than just following your intuition. No matter how long it takes, following your intuition and being willing to sacrifice for the time being until you get to where you want to go.
Okay. I like that. So now I want to talk about people doing shit their own way, because you got people like DDG, like people like who's coming out on the internet and just dropping they shit themselves. Well, not he signed, but dropping shit themselves, building influence themselves. Do you feel like we need to go through that anymore nowadays? Or do you think we can do this shit ourselves?
Shit, you want to answer, bro? Because you're an example of doing it yourself.
It's literally crazy that we talking about this, because last night, like the Rocker, my manager, he hit me every once in a while, and he just hit me like he just hit me like he was like, so like I feel like we got like a bunch of the old songs I did with them. He just was like, bro, it's like even the new. I say, man, I understand we had the old songs, but you got to realize. I finally like spoke, because I can talk now. Like back then I couldn't really talk. I got a little bit at talking, so it's like I told him like, yeah, it's like I'm spiritual at core. So like this spiritual fan base that I got is like, you got to realize these are two different lanes. Like when I was rapping with y'all, I do feel like those are hits, because I got like some hits with them, like Dog. It's one called Roof. Yeah, the dog is out. They've been trying to get that in Scooby Doo, and it's like, but it's like a whole new lane that I've created for myself, and it's like it's like I've been acting real, like real chosen. Like, so should I, like, how should I do it? Should I just drop some of the old stuff? Because that's industry, that's great industry. Should I try to like mesh it together and bring it all into one? Or because like in order for that to happen, y'all gotta let me still speak about what I'm speaking about, as far as the government and exposing. So it's literally only my intuition can really help me with what I'm, because it's like I have no example to go off of. I heard Charleston White. I used to look at Charleston White a lot. He called it blind man shuffling. Blind man shuffling is like you really don't have no person to help you with because like what I do, nobody do. Like I'm like nobody can help me with what I do. I literally have to go off of my intuition, God, and the universe. So it's like I'm gonna just go with what feel right now. But it's like I told him I'm gonna drop the old songs. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try to drop the old songs. See what my people like, because it's like it's two different lanes. But I was good at both.
I think that's what you have to ask yourself. Like, number one, what do I like? And number two, what do my people need to hear? I think as long as we are making sure that, again, back to fulfillment, we're fulfilling ourselves, and we know that we are affecting the people positively. I think that's all that matters. But don't be afraid to tell your story. Not every part of your story is pretty. I've noticed that sometimes in the spiritual community, it's like, you got to understand, we live in a world of duality. Just like Mario was saying, Mario said trauma is what helped him open his eyes a lot. May not be all the time, but trauma has allowed us to move through things and learn through things. So you mean to tell me that I shouldn't talk about my trauma or what has gone on in my life because it's not deemed as positive? It is positive because it's transmutation, it's alchemy. XXX Tentacion's album 17 is why I'm even here, y'all. Like, his album 17 is why I even make music right now. When he passed away,
I never listened to the album before. I'm gonna go back and study that shit. I've never heard the album.
You know what's funny? I looked at one of your pictures, right? And one of your pictures was the picture that I posted to promote this live was posted on June 18th. And that was the day that he passed away.
This year?
No, it's 2021.
Oh shit!
Ooh. So yeah. So you saw a picture I had posted too. So June 18th. So what I've noticed is that sometimes those, and I'm a Scorpio, so a lot of dark things is what transmute for me. It takes me to go through some shit for me to have some shit to transmute it into fucking gold. So it's like X's album 17 is what made me start making music, because he's also so close to where I'm from. It's literally about 30 minutes. His place is 30 minutes away. So it's crazy how something so dark and something so emotional is what has created so much light and inspiration that I now get to teach. So I just want to say that to you, our kids, like, you're going to tell parts of your story. You're going to be like, is this positive? Is this? Don't get caught up in the spiritual community and how they can be sometimes, because you got to remember a lot of them are still finding answers, and there's a reason why they chose us as influencers to promote, and to talk about it. So don't
Right,
allow.
because you saying there's nobody in your space to use as an example. You got, at this point, you are the example. So you lead by example. You follow your intuition, and you give them something to study. You're the catalyst. You're gonna be the first attempt at this. And bro, it's probably if you notice, everybody who was like some of the most influential and greatest people in their generations didn't have nobody else to follow. They were sort of like rebels. They didn't follow rules. They kind of did shit their own way. You know what I'm saying? And were the first people in a specific lane or whatever lane they created. And those are the people that get written in history books, bro. That's the people that people remember. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, you gotta be okay being first. But that, you know what that means too? You can't be looking out to other people on, am I doing right? Is this good? Is this cool?
Yeah, for validation.
Yeah, we all fucking took a chance and did some shit that everybody was like, what the fuck you doing? You know what I'm saying? So you have to, here's one thing I want to say too. We have to realize that, we made that decision one time, but we're going to have to make that decision over and over and over again to do some shit that nobody's going to understand, that can take us to the next level if you're going to be successful. The problem is that you can't think that that's a one-time decision when you decide to drop out or when you decide to quit your job. You're making this same high-level decision to take a leap, to take a risk. Think about it in the Matrix. That's the first part that you have to do to open up your mind and to break free. After you take that pill, that red pill that opens up your third eye and wakes you up, the first program and the first test that you take is the leap of faith. So you got to get really good at taking the leap of faith. I think that's one thing that I know I've been good at. Like, I'll be ready. I'll be like, oh, I'll jump. Fuck everything I've created before. I'll jump because I understand.
But that's from experience. You get after a while, when you start to realize the positive effects that it can have from taking a leap of faith, you be excited. You be ready for the next time you got to do it again.
Yeah.
it's like, all right, okay, something new. Let's do it. Fuck it, we jumping right into it.
And that's something that Joe Dispenza talks about. Joe Dispenza talks about, number one, how much are you gonna tell your old story? Some people are stuck like, but I had this ex, but I was dating this person, I was working this job. Okay, how long are you gonna continue to tell that story? You know what I'm saying? If you are somewhere that you don't want to be, if you are somewhere that you don't like, okay, we get that. You can tell me exactly what you don't like about what's going on. But can you tell me what you do want? Can you give me a vivid image of what you do want, the same way you give me a vivid image of what you don't want? We got too many people out here complaining about shit that they don't like. Now realizing that you can consciously create some shit that you do want. You feel me? Like, I'm sure, Mari, you've heard so many artists probably complain about their scenario, their situation, not realizing that the artists like the Tory Lanez and the NLE Choppers were the artists that was always scavenging for the next thing to do. You know what? Let me try to go here. Let me try to do this. Let me try to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I would like for you to talk about that, about how you have to be very, you have to set the initiative in a career that you don't have a boss, or a career that you are the boss. How do you manage to create your routine, create your schedule, because you don't have somebody telling you, oh, you got to do this, do that, do that.
Again, the same word I'm going to use probably for every answer. Intuition first. Then on this one, I think discipline. Being disciplined enough to wake up knowing that you got to make your own check. You got to wake up every day and create those opportunities for yourself, or at least go and look for like-minded people to make those opportunities with. It's just like living in Atlanta. You see the kids on the street selling the water and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
don't even get me started on them kids.
but you notice that these kids are fearless, and that fearlessness comes from some sort of degree of desperation. Mm-hmm. They got to make something that day. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going home with nothing. I got to make something. So the desperation has to drive you to a certain degree, and then once you build that discipline, then you start to create, you got to sit down and create ideas that nobody else has done, or something that's going to define you or set you apart, so you can make yourself. That's when it comes to the business. It's like, how am I going to sell my product differently? Like, he might sell water too, but how am I going to sell my shit to make my shit stand out?
So how
You
you
know, you gotta
how
go ahead.
you how you continue to go now that you may not be as desperate before? Like, how do you still keep that hunger? I know you probably heard this question a lot. How do you still keep that hunger knowing that you done had these placements, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's honestly, that's a period that I'm in right now, is regaining the love for what I do and regaining the hunger for it. Cause like, if I'm being honest, I got lazy for almost the past 2 years. I got comfortable after I went number one
Damn.
in 21. Like, nigga had a number one
Mm.
record. So
Damn.
what's next when number one? I got comfortable. We having celebrations, we drinking, we turned up. I done rented out a whole house in LA. I got everybody with me. You know what I'm saying? I got celebrities, but Wale coming and chilling, just sitting at the house chilling, bro. Like, different rappers just pulling up and hanging out. It starts to affect you mentally. You have to go through it to realize, oh shit, I'm not, I can't get comfortable. You know, first you got to experience what it's like to get too comfortable to realize, or at least learn from somebody else, not to put yourself in that situation. And then you like, all right, cool. If I want to do this for another 5-10 years, bro, I gotta act like, I gotta treat this shit just like I never made a dollar off of it. You know, and one thing is knowing that there is always somebody out there that's willing to go harder than you. You know, and that's looking for an opportunity and is hungry just like you were when you first started. So the competition is out there.
I've noticed too that being very adaptable is what causes a lot of success too. Like, I will always bring up Tory
Yeah.
Lanez in this situation. The fact that Tory Lanez was always onto the new thing, I think that is a recipe of success also. Always adapting. That's one thing Gary Vee
What
said.
drove that?
You say what?
What drove that? I was with Tory Lanez for about a week and a
Tell
half
me
during the.
shit.
I was in a transitional period with bro when he was leaving Interscope and going independent, and I could tell you firsthand that he was put in a situation to where he had to create a new relevancy for himself. He had to reinvent himself. It just so happened he knew he was in that situation, but the universe provided an opportunity that looked like a problem. It looked like a problem. The universe, which was COVID provided him an opportunity. The man was like, all right, we stuck in the house. I'm finna go live. I'm finna start my own fake radio show on live. He knew exactly what people wanted to talk. You remember when he was doing the little live shit on during COVID? I forgot what he was calling it, but bro, that was just a harebrained idea that popped up based off of a circumstance. You know, he then NFTs came. The man sold a whole album on NFTs for $1 and sold 1 million copies. Like, he made $1 million independently off an NFT album. I produced on the album. I ain't seen $1 yet, but we'll talk about that later. But it's little circumstances that force you into a creative space mentally that make you be like, all right, what can I do, man, to fix this situation up? You know, and if you're a real hustler, that shit is gonna come to you. You're gonna make an idea out of a problem.
You know what though? What I like about that is that what you said there had to be a circumstance in order for him to have that idea, and that's in a book, Think and Grow Rich. That a lot of people, their manifestation will literally be sitting right in front of their face, but maybe they're lazy. Maybe they think that it's supposed to just unfold in front of them, or they don't put action into it. So where Tory Lanez,
or they don't recognize it.
Or they don't recognize it. Yep. So
that's
just
a
like
huge
how
problem
you said it, a lot of us, and I want everybody to hear this good. You can have a problem. You can have a problem. Maybe your problem is money. And this new app comes out, this come out, this new whatever comes out, but you're rejecting it because of maybe your pride, maybe your ego, maybe you're lazy, maybe you don't want to work it. You see, you're thinking that sometimes the blessing do come where it just come in your lap, but some blessings come in the form of an idea that you need to act on. And I've noticed that
Mhm.
some people be so fucking lazy that they think that it's supposed to just drop in their lap, not realizing that you were giving the blessing in the form of an idea. You need to work the idea. And that's what he
Yep.
did.
And if you don't know how to use what's the tool that's been in front of you, just ask questions. That's something I had to learn how to do. I had a problem with being lazy, but the laziness looked like I don't know how to do this, so I'm not gonna fuck with it. Instead of
Hold on. You said the laziness looks like I don't know how to do it, so I'm not gonna fuck with it.
Yeah, that's considered, in my opinion, because I went through it. That's considered laziness because it's nothing to ask somebody who's on the platform or whatever the idea is, how to use it, how to get better at it, start practicing it. Like you was talking about Ableton earlier, right? I'm like, dang, I keep saying I want to fuck with Ableton. I ain't even went and downloaded the motherfucker yet. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
I at least gotta go get started on it. Like,
I want to say this too. I've noticed that some of the best. Okay, so I worked a job where I was in service to someone who everybody would probably deem successful, and I noticed that I will never ask someone something that I wouldn't be able to provide myself. And that doesn't mean when it comes to information, meaning that, like, if I know that if somebody asks me a question and they wanted some information, I would provide that. So I wouldn't ask someone to do something for me that if the roles were reversed, I wouldn't do the same. What I've noticed is that people are so fucking lazy, and the best people who are great at what they do, great at serving, great at, creating, are the people that are forward thinkers. They don't think about what you need. And I'm gonna say this as people who be assistants and everything. The best assistants, the best people that work for you are the people that don't do what you say, but do the next thing after that of what you would possibly ask for next.
oh my God.
I know. You wanna know how I know
Oh my
that though?
God.
You wanna know how I know that though? Because I played that role and I knew how to do that without ego. I knew how to serve someone. I knew how to serve someone. I, I knew how to serve someone without ego, without pride, and always think about, okay, what's the next thing that this person could possibly want? And that's the thing. Too much fucking laziness, bro. That's what I don't like that shit, bro. That laziness, hold on. That laziness, I don't like that shit, man.
A lot of people, especially a lot of people in service, they do things that are gonna benefit them in the long run. Not knowing that if you literally play your role and be of service to someone, they'll refer you. They'll let other people know that this person is great in this, and you can build your company off of doing the right thing and going above and beyond.
Yep.
And it's when you start doing shady shit and start doing things that are gonna glorify yourself early on. People gonna recognize that and be like, "Oh man, bro, I don't think you should work with him. He do this type of business." Or,
Yep.
That's I can't. I'm glad you brought that up because I've dealt with that.
You know, the quote that I was told was, "If you do more than what you're paid for, then you'll get paid for more than what you do."
No cap. Cap.
This is why I say people need to play
Wait,
sports.
say that again?
If you do more than what you're paid for, you'll get paid for more than what you do.
Eventually.
That's crazy.
It doesn't always. It don't always start off like that, but it grows into that.
Somebody in the comments name is Shara Oriana, and she said, "As an assistant, I agree."
Her last name is Ori.
Her last name is Oriana, which is my name, Oriana Ori.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
That's it. But so back to that though. I don't know why that just really like irks my soul, like, and I feel like, most people would deem. So let me tell you something. I read the book Relentless by Tim Grover, who is the trainer of Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. I really recommend I would recommend all y'all this. The book Relentless. That motherfucker will have you thinking like Kobe. That motherfucker have you thinking like Kobe, have you thinking like MJ, and that shit taught me like there are coolers, closers, and cleaners. The coolers are the people that, you know, you tell them what to do. Hey, you know, can you drop 20 tonight? Can you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'll do it. I'll take care of it. You know, the final shot comes into the game. You probably have to tell them, hey, we want you to take this shot. That's the cooler. The closer is gonna take the shot by themselves. They may feel a little timid about it. A cleaner is like, don't even fucking look at me. I got it. I'm gonna take care of it. You don't even need to, like, you already know who's gonna get the ball. You already, like, for you to think that you're gonna take the shot is a fucking problem. That's how cleaners are. And what I've noticed is that we have too many soft people in this world now that's not having that Mamba type mentality to reach success, and they're not real. They'll make it seem like you're unhealthy or you're asking for too much and it's like, sweetheart, have you looked at the greats? Do you realize that you have to be obsessed with your craft? You have to love your craft. You have to want to marry that motherfucker. Like, you know, like, I've noticed that the only thing that has made me happy and has not say the only thing, but the one thing that has made me happy and has not broke my heart, like a person, that has not turned his back on me, that has not, you know what I'm saying, stolen from me, has been my passions. And I feel like people need to start coming to their passions with 100%, the same way that they expect 100% out of their passions. So that's one thing I want y'all to kind of talk about. And Arquez, you know, we talked about this too, like how there can't be laziness in this shit when you say you want to be great. You know, and I want you, Mario, to tell us about, like, how you, like, what made you realize, oh shit, I'm being comfortable, because that's a big thing about success, comfortability. So when did you realize, oh shit, I'm being comfortable, and what did you do? Did you start a new routine to break out of that comfortability?
Yeah, I didn't even start a new routine. I just went back to doing what I was doing when I first started, which was making music on a daily basis. Even if I didn't finish ideas, I was just going back in the gym, shooting free throws, you know what I'm saying, until them shit started landing again. But what made me notice it was lack of phone calls, less records, you know, being at home too much. Like when you stop showing up, the opportunity stops showing up.
Like, when you stop showing up, the opportunity stops showing up.
Yeah.
How important is it to show up, even in the little ways?
That's all. That's everything. That's everything. That's, like we said earlier, taking the first step, even acting on faith. I mean, like I told you, I was showing up to Atlanta, sitting in my car, waiting on niggas to pull up to the studio, waiting on Southside TM to pull up to the studio. That consistency, people see that. People see you hungry, and even if they plan on these guys didn't do this, but there has been situations where even if people plan on taking advantage of your hunger, you can still use that shit to your advantage.
Yep.
Because people are gonna get what they want out of you, but it's up to you to go get yours as well.
That's true.
So getting back in a mental, in a mind frame of, nigga, this ain't no game. Like, I gotta feed my family, and I got kids. Like, this is like, I can't fuck around. So yeah, it'll put you there. The circumstances will make you want to get back out there and work.
So let's talk about this, because right now I'm about to ask you a question. Like, it's totally safe question, but I'm about to ask you a question that I know for a fact, because I know for a fact this has crossed your mind. How do you, knowing that, you know what I'm saying, you're starting to, you know, get older and things like that, you starting to see younger people come in, how do you start to adapt and, you know, not become like some of these old heads, but now starting to embrace the youth? How do you go about that, you know, and how do you deal with those type of thoughts, you know, thinking like, you know, it happens, like, let's be real, it happens, the doubts and the shit like that. So how do you navigate that?
I always worked with the youth though. Like, even when I first came in, like, I was always working with up and comers. I started with up and comers. I always kept it in my mind, like, I'm gonna always work with up and coming artists. And I study the game. So, like, even today I watch interviews and I peep who's coming up next. And I'm still I can't believe it. Like, even after working with Drake and all this stuff and whatever, that was fun. But like I still have this passion for working with like the next new nigga, like the next artist. And I still get sought after. Like people hit me every day. These new artists who have like 10,000 to 20,000 followers who aren't really up yet. Like I get them phone calls and those DMs every day. So I don't ignore those, because you never know who's gonna be the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to like competition and like I embrace I don't necessarily look at music as competition. I hate looking at it that way.
I agree.
Yeah, but I listen to what these kids are making and I'm like, bro, I can make that. I can still do that. I can make all that shit. I'm very confident in what I could do as a producer. So if I'm put to the test and somebody say make this type of music, that's shit fun to me.
That's amazing.
So
That's dope. That's dope. So where do you feel like
yeah.
now, with all the knowledge that you have, where do you feel like now, number one, what do you feel like is something that you've been learning, like one of the key things that you had to learn this year? And where do you feel like your head is at now for the next go bout?
Well, I mean, funny enough, the one of the things I had to learn was shit. Like I'm 34, like, but that shit don't matter. Like in this game, that shit don't matter. If you like it, look, Tom, y'all see Tom Brady, y'all see Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers get all his shit great, but that man be hitting the field, So I had to get out my own head about that this year. That was definitely something I had to get out. I was like, man, is this shit done for me? And I was asking some of the young, it was like, bro, hell nah, we need you in this shit.
Exactly.
Like now you a leader. Now you one of the top dogs in this shit. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna keep going. Like if I'm needed, I'm gonna keep going. And I think one of my main goals going forward is to be more of a A&R, a mentor, and somebody who could have influence. Hopefully, I can build myself up to have enough influence to.
There you go. There you go.
What's that?
There you go. Be humble. You know it's gonna happen. All your numbers align. All your numbers align.
Well, it's we hopefully get in a box position and put in and create opportunity because like for the last 2 years, I told myself I was gonna put a producer on at least one or two producers a year, and I met that goal. Like even if I didn't sign them, I put niggas in position to get placements. I put people in position. I didn't take a dime from these folks. I didn't ask for nothing, but I've gotten people records. So I think that's my next step is like A&R, and I'm gonna keep producing, but really to get in the boss position and create opportunities for other people.
Yeah, I like what Hitmaker got going on. I love what he got going on. He got some good. You got to come to Miami, man. We got to do something like that.
I'm with it. Me and my manager was just talking yesterday about doing a camp.
See,
we just don't know we don't know where we want to do it. We don't know when to do it.
I would say ATL. I ain't gonna hold you.
We can talk about it. We ain't even gotta rush it.
I'm in ATL. Everybody in ATL. I'm
I
here.
don't know niggas.
Oh, you live in too?
Yeah, I don't know niggas in Miami. I know everybody in ATL. That's why I said that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're not doing this shit in LA. That's all.
Nah.
We ain't fucking. I'm about to move out my apartment out there.
They said Mario and Arcades. Do you know who SSG Splurge is?
Yeah.
You know who that is?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Yeah, I ain't heard from dude in a minute though.
Okay, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, he did that intro part too. Beat by Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff used to produce for him for a lot of shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all, man, for coming on. This shit went for 2 hours. They got a lot. Listen, y'all got a lot of information out this shit, man. Y'all better clip this shit up. Y'all better study this shit. Y'all gotta understand we was able to get someone who has manifest. This is the thing. It don't matter what the fuck it is. If you know somebody has manifested something, you need to be asking questions. Like, that's one thing I'm always doing is trying to ask some questions, bro. And I don't know if it's just from basketball. I don't know if it's just, like one thing I've learned from basketball is that, my coach would yell at me, but I learned to not take it personal and hear what he's trying to teach me. And that's the thing. A lot of us, we don't like to hear what we need to hear because we think it's a personal attack. When in reality, it's probably a personal attack because it's triggering you where it needs to. Because some shit that's gonna rub off you that don't resonate, it's not gonna feel like a personal attack. You feel me? So, I don't. First, I just want you go ahead, Mario, and tell them where everybody can find you. What's your Instagram? What's your YouTube? Your Twitter?
Oh shit! Everything. Shit. Is there a way you can post my link tree? Because a couple of these things got different handles.
Okay, yeah, I'll post it. I'll post it in the chat. You just gotta send it to
Yeah,
me.
but
At
as
least
far
tell
as
them.
so yeah, Super Mario IG is SUPAH Mario IG. So that's Instagram, and then Twitter. I still use Twitter. I don't know about everybody else, but Twitter's okay. Super Mario SUPAH Mario Beats. Just BEA.
What made you pick Super Mario?
You like wasn't here earlier.
Yeah, I answered that earlier. Man,
it's not.
So my middle name is DeMario. My mom and them always call me Mario or whatever. And then at school,
right.
and shit, Super Mario and Luigi. I don't know why. If I tell people my name is Mario, they be like Luigi. Like the fuck? No, nigga, Mario. So yeah.
Oh my bad. It's crazy you say your middle name is DeMario and you use that for your producer name, because that's the same thing I did with with Arcades. That's my middle name. It was like I don't know what to use, but my middle name was so unique. I was like, let me use that.
Hey, it works, though, bro. Unique, and it works. Hey, make sure we get connected after this too.
Oh yeah, man. You say your IG is
SUPA. Yeah, Mario IG.
Man.
And go ahead.
I feel like I talk way too much this whole time. I ain't really get to hear someone, bro.
No. Don't do that. Don't do that.
We gonna connect though. We gotta talk.
Exactly. Don't do that. I knew something was coming. I knew you was gonna say something. Now I would tell you, Mario, you be doing that. You be putting stuff out there, but then sometimes you be shooting it down, man. You can't be doing that.
Well, I wanted to hear bro tell more of his story. You know what I'm saying?
I feel.
Oh no, you cool, bro. I glad even being able to talk to you, man. I used to use some of your beat packs. I used to make beats with some of your packs.
You gotta realize,
when I was a producer,
we intrigued. They said Mario, real down to earth. Yeah, he don't realize we intrigued. We trying to know more from you. We trying to learn from you. You gotta remember when we have people who are legends, people who are very highly educated in the field. Why the hell we for the talk? We trying to hear. We trying to learn. That's one thing I've learned from 50 Cent.
That is going to show how humble.
Yeah.
That's that Carolina humbleness in him.
Yeah, man. I always feel like you can learn from anybody. So I'll be wanting to hear, hey, you can learn from babies, bro.
Look, hold on. How the hell you switch the camera? Look. Oh, let's see. Y'all can see that?
Yep.
Hold on. Oh, wow. That's hard, bro.
Hey, only 2 in it. I think I ain't download all of it, but I think I might have got this off of Splice.
Oh, man, fuck that Splice kid, bro. I'm going to get you some exclusives.
Ooh, let me get some exclusives.
Yeah.
Hold on now.
Let's get it.
All right, Arcades, drop your tell people where we can find you.
Arcades can see. It's spelled arcade. Hold on. It's spelled arcade like you playing the game, arcade, but with a Z. So ARCAZE PANSEE.
Okay.
On everywhere.
Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all for showing up. I'm about to. Y'all don't leave though. I'm just gonna end the stream. Thank you everybody who showed up. We had some viewers in here. This is gonna do some numbers. We had some viewers in here.
My man is drinking coconut water, bro. Hey, my daughter, you drinking coconut?
Hold on. Let me close this out. All right, y'all. Y'all make sure to comment, subscribe. I'm gonna put everybody's information.